Hi all, it's your page admin, Diana. I'm switching over to using video blogs for the podcast and just doing vlogs in general because SoundCloud has a limit on how many videos you can post per month. I have it multiple pages, multiple shows to do, and this is just a hobby right now, not making me any money, so I don't want to spend that much money on the hobby right now until I can start getting some income that'll pay for it. And obviously, I'm nowhere near at the level yet to be doing a podcast on iTunes or Stitcher or anything, but that's hopefully in the future. For reviews, the first two podcasts I did were really off the cuff and more just tests than anything. I have Vegas Pro now, thanks to Humble Bundle, so I'm going to be doing something more traditional with reviews, better scripted, less off the cuff. So wanted to talk about that. I've got a new shirt here I picked up at Hot Topic, which I adore. Also, really cheap Niku Minoru Funko Pop. Not that big on Funko Pops, but she's adorable and one of my favorite characters in comics ever. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the show, loved Runaways growing up, so especially Nico. So yeah, if that wasn't obvious. Lighting here is not too great right now. I'm having trouble figuring it out. This is really just the living room, and we don't have any lighting rigs set up, so apologies if you can't see me very well, especially on this side of my face. Flag you can see very well, but yeah, so I'll look into that in the future about adding at least a lamp, maybe, over here for recording. I read, this is actually the second attempt at this video. The first time the audio wasn't recording. I'm using a different version of OBS Studio that my wife has up, so I had to reconfigure everything, and I didn't configure the mic correctly. The volume might be low still. Tell me how it is on your end. There's limits to how much you can turn up the volume on Facebook proper. So if it's too low to hear on mobile, let me know in the comments, and I will increase the input volume in the future. I also did read Superman Year One. It's not good. I don't know if I want to go over the review again. It's that I did in the previous attempt at the video. Needless to say, this is the third book this year that uses rape as a plot point. I talked about at length in one of the older blogs that's on my SoundCloud that podcast, I should say, on my SoundCloud. Female Furies used it as a major plot point. That book is god awful and even worse than Superman Year One. And it was also a plot point in Hex Wives as well as Mind Control Rape. It's not great. It's also got Frank Millerisms. The rape plot point, thankfully nobody gets raped actually, but it is attempted gang rape. Also seems to be involving a minor. We don't get ages, but it's safe to assume that Lana Lang is between the age of 15 and 18. So it's questionable. Yes, the perpetrators are also around that age because they're high school bullies. Doesn't make it any less rape. Yes, minors can rape people, and that's a big deal. And Frank Miller is too much of an edgelord. He's edgelord to do this correctly, to give it the weight I feel it deserves. I'm not against rape as a plot point, but I dislike it when it's done without giving it weight. There's a lot that can be said about comic books ignoring the weight of violence that we can talk about. Indie comics tend to do this better, and then there are other indie comics which tend to do this much worse. But yeah, this book's going to sell well, and that's because Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. are attached to it, and that's going to send the wrong message to editorial. And we're going to get more stuff like this from DC, probably. Hopefully Wonder Comics, specifically the Wonder Twins and Dial H for Hero, and even Naomi continue to do well. Those are much better books. That's what I would be introducing kids to in DC right now, if you were introducing them, your tweens and teenagers to. Over at Marvel, if you want to introduce someone to comics, I would suggest Champions or the Miles Morales Spider-Man book. But yeah, for those of us who are long-time readers right now, I'm just waiting on Hickman's X-Men to start up. I had taken a break because it was a slog to read through current comics. So much of it is, right now, is just mediocre and not so great. So yeah. But yes, the actual reviews are going to be about... we're going to probably do about a storyline or a run, depending upon what I want to devote it to. And that'll affect the length of the reviews. They're going to be posted on Facebook and YouTube. I will link the YouTube for those videos because I believe then you won't have to deal with the ads so much, or at least the shorter ads that YouTube uses if you're not using an ad blocker, as opposed to the ads that Facebook likes to do, which can even just straight up take you into another video because it's not so great. Those aren't going to be like super comedic either. Like, I will do jokes when it's something's funny, but expect those to be more of an analysis and trying to find like a central pivot point for the story that makes it interesting in the grand scheme of things. Right now, I'm thinking of going back over the North Star collection from Astonishing X-Men because it's the end of Pride Month, so that hopefully will come out before the end of the month. And yeah, and then I'll do these blogs occasionally, usually about news and new books that come out, if I think there's something worth talking about, or merchandise I've gotten a hold of, new books I've gotten a hold of that I don't think are worth dedicating an edited video to. It's just an off-the-cuff vlog. Just like how those cute Dream Daddy books, which were better than they had any right to be, that I bought on a whim and have posted images from, panels from. So yeah, that's what this is going to be. I'm going to try and have a vlog a week. But really, if there's nothing to talk about, I'm going to skip the vlog. It's probably going to be a Wednesday, Thursday thing, if you're keeping track of that. So yeah. And of course, this isn't going to affect the panels, because I have scheduled well into July already many posts, so you don't have to worry about that. I am also planning on doing a big dump of scheduled posts here real soon to get us through to August. So gone are the days when I just post stuff as they come. I'm getting ahead on things. Once I start doing more of the videos, those will very much be well ahead of schedule. That's just how I work. And I think that's all I wanted to talk about right now. So I hope this video wasn't too much trouble for you. I hope you enjoyed it if you did. And, you know, keep following for more funny and heartwarming and heartbreaking content from this crazy thing we call comic books. All right. I'll see you later.